Hi everybody, and welcome back to another video. And if you're new here, you're really welcome. I'm Jane. My husband Mike does everything behind the camera. We're British, early retirees. We have no debt and we've paid off the mortgage. And we live a thrifty, frugal and money-saving life here in Brittany in northwest France. And every Sunday we bring to you an aspect of our private life, the things that we do personally to save money all of the time. And the biggest thing that we do to save money all of the time and live a thrifty, frugal and money-saving life is every single month we write a unique budget. And then we stick to that budget and we live off that budget each and every month. Here's our budget for July. Before you go any further, before you watch another minute, hit that thumbs up button because it really helps the algorithm and it gets our videos out there. Let's have a look at our budget for July. There's lots of different ways of budgeting, but the method we use is a zero balance method of budgeting, which means we give every euro a job at the beginning of every month, and our budget shows zero at the end of the budget sheet. In case you're new and you don't know, you might wonder, where does our income come from? We have a variable income, which means it isn't the same every month. And that's for two reasons, because the currency exchange rate fluctuates slightly with our monthly pensions, which are paid from the UK into our French bank accounts. And our YouTube income varies slightly. Sometimes it's a slight difference, some months there's a big difference. And our YouTube income comes from AdSense, so if viewers let the adverts roll or not. It also benefits if from people hitting the like button, as that affects the algorithm and how many more people see the videos. We get asked as well about our pensions and what would happen if one of the two of us died. Our pensions have death benefits. So if the survivor gets 50% of the deceased's pension, and our pensions are index-linked direct benefits pensions, which we receive until our deaths. With any budget, we always start with the figure. The figure is the money coming in. Our income from YouTube after deductions of 24.6%, which we pay in social security contributions. Here in France, that's called cotisations, and we pay it to URSSAF. Plus our UK pensions, this month totals €2,725. That's a bit more than June, when our income was €2,631. So our income this month is €95 more than last month. You might be wondering, is €2,725 a lot or a little for two people to live off in France? Now, I get all of my figures from the French government website of INSEE. The median net income per person here in France is €2,020 per month, or €4,040 per month as a couple, meaning our joint income is €1,314 less than the median net income. Yes, we've paid off our mortgage, but so have most other 60-year-olds here. And yes, I know some 60-year-olds have always rented and will always rent. I'm comparing us with other 60-year-olds who've paid off their mortgage. Minimum wage net income is $1,426 per person, or $2,852 as a couple, meaning our income for July is €127 below minimum wage. In any country, living on minimum wage, whether you've paid off your mortgage or not, is a very low income. And whether you think that's a lot or whether you think that is a little, it is a fact that we live off less than minimum wage. I thought I would share this important point as well, and I'm sure many of you are feeling it just as we are feeling it. But our incomes have remained pretty much the same for 2022, 23, 24 and 25. But the cost of living has gone up and up and up, meaning we've had to cut back on everything. So our bills look pretty much the same. Our electricity bill, our water bill, and so on and so forth look pretty much the same year on year on year. But what we've actually had to do is cut back on the amount of electricity we use, the amount of water we use, the amount of what we can buy at the supermarket is less. If I was to show you my shopping in 2022 with the same budget that I have now, you would see a lot less that we bring home from the supermarket. So I'm sure you're all feeling that too. When you hear people say, pay yourself first, they're telling you, like I'm doing here, that what they do, like I do, is save first. So we've got €2,725 minus 20% of that number into long-term savings, and that is €545 for this month. We don't know exactly what we will need our long-term savings for. The house might need something, a fridge freezer might need replacing, something that we might need might arise in the future, but it's simply for things we need in the future. Then every month we put away into our long-term savings €200 for the next car that we buy. We start saving for the next car the moment we buy the last one. The next part of our savings is our short-term savings, or our sinking funds, as some people call them. And this month, we are saving €785 into those short-term savings. Now, we're going to show you this month the evaluations we are making for those sinking funds for the coming year. Now, our total savings for this month is €1,530, and that is 56.13% of our total income for July. Someone queried before saying short-term savings are not savings, they're not going into long-term savings. All of these are savings. Whether you're saving for Christmas, or you're saving for your holiday next year, or you're saving for something you're doing in 5 years' time, they are your savings. This part where we talk about sinking funds is where Mike and I really keep to a budget on everything that we buy throughout the year. We use the term sinking funds because they are rolling and continuous savings. We fill a fund, we use the money, it empties, and we start to fill it up again. Let's go to clothing. We currently save $600 a year for clothing. That needs to stay the same. We will just have to make that figure work. Currently, we save $160 a year to have 2 wood-burning stove chimneys swept. Where we are going, we haven't yet decided on the heating we are going to have. We may have a pellet stove that will need a clean and a service each year, and as yet, we don't know how much that will cost, but that figure will obviously change. Currently, we save to spend €720 a year on gifts. That will be evaluated as things are ongoing. At the moment, it's just about enough to buy 6 gifts of €100 each and 3 gifts of €40 each. Let's then look at our savings for our 1 week a year trip to see family in the UK. Currently, we save £1,600, which is about £500 for the ferry, £600 for an Airbnb when we get there, and then spending money for when we are there. This will change. In the future, we will take the ferry from Santander in Spain, which will be only 6 hours from our new home. We will also have a dog cabin, which has a higher cost. It's a more expensive ferry because it's a 24-hour crossing to Plymouth. So that figure will increase. Currently, our property tax is £800. Our new property is slightly higher. I think it's about £840 for the year. Currently, we pay for, which means we save, £210 for our refuse and recycling. This will be evaluated. We do not know if that is included in the property tax where we're going or if it is a separate bill. Water, we currently pay £260 a year. This will probably remain almost the same. There are summer water restrictions there in the south, and we won't be watering any plants. Water has a similar price here to where we are going. I'm going to continue to evaluate our short-term savings with you. So at the moment, we save £800 a year for firewood for our house. Obviously, our next house is not going to have a wood-burning stove, but we will have some kind of heating to buy, whether that is wood pellets for a stove or we have an entirely electrical heating system. Whatever, it's going to be around the 800, but it could be more, it could be less. We will evaluate that at the time. We currently save £500 a year for veterinary costs. That will remain the same. We currently save and spend £720 a year on getting the dogs clipped and groomed. That could be similar. At the moment, we save £360 a year for plants in the garden. That could remain the same because I'm going to have potted plants in the garden there. The cars and the tyre service, £800 a year, probably remain the same. We pay £240 a year in business tax. We have to save a bit each month, and our incomes remain the same from YouTube, so that'll pretty much stay the same as well. We've got epidemic sounds, which is the music you hear in our videos, and we pay for that. That's £144 a year. This might increase with the cost of living. Then we have Apple storage of £72, and again, that could increase. Then we have an annual holiday in France or mainland Europe. We've looked at accommodation in the Costa Brava region of Spain for late spring, early summer for next year for 14 nights. And this price will include food, an apartment, transport and days out. And it's perfectly feasible at that amount. So if you look at all of the amounts that we have to save throughout the year, it totals €9,386. What we do is we divide that figure by 12, which is 782.16, which we round up to 785. And then we save that amount each month, knowing we've saved enough throughout the year to pay for the things that we need, so there's no sudden costs. Let's run through our living costs for this month. We've got £200 allocated to the supermarket. That's all food, all drink, all toiletries, all cleaning products, all toiletries, everything. This won't be the same every month. Currently, it is low because we've got a low income again this month, so we just need to cut back, and supermarket is where we can cut back. Car fuel this month, we've got a lot of running around to do this month. It's going to be 100. Fuel for the garden machinery is going to be 30. Mike's phone is 10. My phone is 25. Orange supply us with TV, home phone and internet at 31. EDF is Electricité de France of 120. Now somebody has asked me, how do I know how much my electricity bill is going to be? We've got kind of like, we've got the same each month. So in the summer we use less, in the winter we use more. It's just a sort of how they budget charging us for this. Our bank charge is €13 a month. There is no such thing as free banking here in France, not at our bank, and they don't have credit cards to make money from. My brows, currently I pay €25 a month to have my eyebrows and my lip and chin waxed. I don't know how much that's going to cost where I'm going. It could be more. Our health insurance at the moment is $113 a month. We will stay with our insurer if they can insure us for the same amount where we are going. Our home insurance is currently $35 a month. That's probably definitely going to change because we'll have not a smaller house. It's a house with less land, blah, 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 all that stuff. Anyway, the car insurance is $57 a month. That may change with location. I don't know. It could. It might not. Then pet food is $35 this month. Dog medication for Dolly, she's at like end of life care at the moment, is $117 a month. We're happy to pay that. I don't care. People are going to comment that we shouldn't have a dog if we're short of money. I don't care. That's like saying to people who've got children, you can't afford children, you shouldn't have them. Our total living cost for July is €911, which works out to 33.42% of our income. Let's go through the final numbers. So the income is 2,725. The savings is 1,530. The living costs is 911. Now discretionary spending this month is 294. There's only that amount because we have cut back on our supermarket spending. But this is a no spend month. So that 294 will be added to the 1,530, totaling 1,824 in savings. Now, our no spend months this year in total to date have amounted to 1,369. Now, this year, that will be swallowed up as our old dog's medication for the year will cost 1,404. So you can see where our no spend budget is going to go this year. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your comments. Thank you massively for hitting that thumbs up button. And I know some of you are going to put in the comments below, because it happens almost every time we put a budget video out. Where's your line for housing? Where is your line for your mortgage or your rent? We've paid off the mortgage. We paid it off by the time we hit 50. We paid off a 25-year mortgage in 21 years. By being thrifty, by being frugal and overpaying it. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye!